Now in Revelation chapter 14, verse number 1, the Bible reads, "And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his Father's name written in their foreheads." Now, we should expect to see the 144,000 here, but again, it said, "I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his Father's name written in their foreheads." If you believe in the flat earth, you are a complete idiot. It says in verse 1 of chapter 7, "And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads." So the Father's name written in their foreheads in Revelation 14 is here known as being sealed in their foreheads. And you know what? If you're one of these flat earthers, please, for the love of all that's holy. In chapter 7, it says, "I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel." After the tribulation, when the sun and moon are darkened, but it's before God pours out His wrath. Before He pours out the wrath, He's going to seal the 144,000. We've been dealing with a bunch of infiltrators lately. But we see from chapter 7 that these people are sealed in their foreheads, even if you don't believe what NASA told you. That's significant. It says, "And as the voice of a great thunder, and I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps, and they sung." So the harpers are singing. And it says, "And they sung as it were a new song." At first I'm like, hey man, I'm not really interested in that. No thanks, no thanks, no thanks. Leave me alone! Hey, months later, I'm swimming laps at LA Fitness. I see the guy in the locker room. He walks up to me, "Hey, Pastor Anderson," brings up the flat earth. First sentence. "Before the throne and before the 4 beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song, but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth." Don't tell me that the firmament is a solid dome. Flat earthers, they make all these wild-eyed claims about what the Bible teaches. So what we see here with the 144,000 is that they are singing a song that no one else can learn. Where you say, "Oh, I'm a Bible-believing Christian," and then that makes you a flat earther, which makes you an idiot to anyone who knows any math or science. And that when they sing that song, they also play harps. We don't need somebody who's carried about and tossed about with every wind of internet crap. And when they sing that song, the Bible says that it's coming from heaven, because the voice of the song, it says here, to coming from heaven. "What do you expect me to believe? We're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour?" "And I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters." So where's the voice coming from? From heaven. Well, wait a minute. How are you going to find 144,000 that are males and that are virgins and that are believers in Jesus Christ? Now look, they're believers, they're males, and they're virgins. Locusts from hell come. They stay away from the 144,000. It says that they torment everybody who doesn't have the seal of God in their foreheads. A bunch of flat earthers out there. I believe that on this earth, Moses and Elijah are obviously going to, or the 2 witnesses, whoever they are, we believe is Moses and Elijah. And this flat earth thing, people will say, yeah, but, you know, if we could just get people to believe in the flat earth, then they'll realize there's a God and they'll believe in God. Because the Bible talks a lot about how everybody in the world is hearing their preaching, everybody in the world hates them and wants them dead and is happy when they die. So Jesus went and did the first climb of Everest with no oxygen, because there's no record of Lucifer or Jesus having oxygen up there. According to the flat earthers, right? And he's up on Everest looking at all the kingdoms of the world. That is retarded. That is just insane. Because the Bible talks a lot about how everybody in the world is hearing their preaching, everybody in the world hates them and wants them dead and is happy when they die. Oh, if we could just get people to believe in God, then they'll be saved. Really? This flat earth phenomenon. And I hate this stupid subject. I think the 144,000 will have a more local ministry because they can be scattered throughout the whole world. And I told you this church makes you smarter. Now what we believe is that the earth is turning. The sun's moving, everything's moving. The sun's moving, the earth's moving. That is dumb. Okay, give me a break. And so I don't want anything to do with it. And guess what? Believing in God doesn't get you to heaven. And they're going straight to hell. And in fact, in the end times, when the Antichrist comes, is he an atheist Antichrist? Is the Antichrist going to show up and say, you know, I am here to give you the message of the Big Bang. I am the God. I mean, look, hey, he's going to say, hey, you've heard of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? I'm the God of Captain Kirk. I'm the God of Spock. I'm the God of Captain Sulu. You know, I am here to tell you the truth of the cosmosity. No, what he's actually going to do is he's going to teach them the God of forces. He's going to declare himself to be God. That's not atheism. You see, the devil has used atheism over the last 100 and some years just to tear down the Bible, tear down morals, tear down society. Once he gets people off the God of the Bible, you know what he's going to do? He's going to get them back to believing in God again. The wrong God. The God of this world. The devil.
Elon Musk, pleasure to have you on.
Thanks for having me.
So this is the Dragon that goes up into space and is going to go up on Monday, correct?
Yeah, that's our Dragon spacecraft, or version 1, which is capable of taking cargo to and from the space station, including biological cargo like fish and mice and that kind of thing.
So when do human beings start going up in it, you think?
So we expect to complete version 2 of Dragon, which will have astronaut transport capability in about 2 years.
And most of what you do now is send satellites up into space, right? That's how you pay the bills.
Exactly.
But you want to do something much more ambitious with SpaceX.
Yeah, I mean, the long-term aspiration is to develop the technologies necessary to transport a large number of people and cargo to Mars in order to create a self-sustaining civilization there. In order to create a self-sustaining civilization there. And that's really why I started the company, was because it seemed as though...
To create the possibility for life on other planets.
He's going to declare himself to be God.
To create the possibility for life on other planets. To create the possibility for life on other planets.
Yeah, exactly.
What I really want to try to achieve here is to make Mars seem possible. There are really two fundamental paths. One path is we stay on Earth forever, and then there will be some eventual extinction event. The alternative is to become a spacefaring civilization and a multi-planet species. Why Mars?
He's going to declare himself to be God.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, these flat earthers, it's their whole religion. They're obsessed with it. We've had flat earthers in our church that just is all they talk about. All they talk about. I mean, I had this guy, I finally just got in his face and yelled at him because I'm just like, I don't care about the flat earth. I'm sick of you talking to me. What do you not understand when I said I have no interest? I'm not interested. Hey, months later, I'm swimming laps at LA Fitness. I see the guy in the locker room. He walks up to me, hey, Pastor Anderson, brings up the flat earth. First sentence. And just as the apostles in Acts 2, remember they were all Galileans, but they spake with other tongues, and they were able to give the gospel to people from all over the world. I think the 144,000 are going to come back to preach the gospel to all nations and languages and tongues, and to preach the gospel. You say, well, how do you know they're going to be preaching the gospel? Well, look at the next verse. After the 144,000 are described, it says they are without fault before the throne of God. Look at verse 6. And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation and kindred and tongue and people, saying with a loud voice, fear God and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of waters. So what we see here is that right after we talk about the 144,000, the next verse talks about preaching the gospel to every nation, kindred, tongue, and people. So that, oh, you believe the Bible? Then you believe in a flat earth. Here we get an idea of why they're there, to preach the gospel. You say, well, the angel's going to do that. Well, he has the gospel to preach unto them, but I think that the 144,000 are going to be preaching that same gospel. I'm serious. So what happens when you tell people, hey, the earth's a sphere? Oh, you must believe in evolution and the Big Bang, too. It makes you just an imbecile. Or if you're over here saying, bless God, I believe the Bible and the earth's flat, then you just look like a retard to the whole world. So here's what we need to do, folks. We need to accept science. Amen. So the title of my sermon tonight is The Flat Earth. Folks, get a brain. What's the sermon about? Get a brain. Because when it talks about the Father's name being written in their foreheads, that's actually mentioned in chapter 7 what that is.
A handyman, a craftsman, literally a jack of all trades from what I've seen.
And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation and kindred and tongue and people, saying with a loud voice, fear God and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of waters.